it's been a long time, but this is Stoney, and I'm here to show you this really cool device I made to tumble rocks. And I'm gonna use the power of the creek to do so. Now, my wife, she wants to make some Seaglass kind of decorative stuff for the house, and we were looking at buying some rock tumblers for glass and rocks, and they can be pretty expensive, anywhere from 100 plus 200, 300. But I was like, you know, we got this creek right here, and I'm kind of handy, so I'm gonna try and make one. And a lot of this stuff I had at the house, I did have to go to Home Depot and buy a little bit of it, but really for about under 40 bucks, you can make one yourself because a lot of this stuff you're gonna have at your home. Here it is. This is the rock glass tumbler. Water comes from the left-hand side and pushes the wheel, and it rotates like that. And all the contents inside of here are gonna be agitated with some sand to polish some rocks or some glass. So I'm gonna use just what I have from the creek. Now, most of this is 1/4 inch, but I did add about 1 inch size rocks in there, as you can see. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna do about 3 or 4 scoops of this into the bucket. So now it's nice and full, about probably halfway, and now I'm gonna add some glass to it. So here's my glass. I went to Goodwill and I just bought some old blue glass and broke it up. You can use beer bottles, whatever you want, wine bottles. I got about a half a bag, a Ziploc baggie full. I'm gonna dump it in here, just like that. That should be plenty. Maybe I'll put a little more in there, but that's gonna be good, then I'll seal it up. I got my lid on here. I got my 3/8 inch rod inserted like that. Got my 1 pin in on that side, another pin right here. Let's go put it in my stand. It's already set up. The stand already in the water, it just started to work just like that. Look at that. It is flowing pretty good. Got some good revolutions on it. I did add some water inside the paint can, even though it will come out because, you know, those holes are pretty sloppy. Okay, I got all 3 set up. Here's 1. Here's 2, and here's 3, right there. That guy's a little bit slower, but that's all right, no problem. So I'm gonna let these go for about a week, come back, and see what kind of glass we have. Make sure it's all polished up. It's been just over a week. As you can tell, the water has come up substantially, but my tumblers are still rotating nice. I got 1, 2. The third one I lost. I'll explain what happened to that one and how I'm gonna fix it to prevent it from happening to these 2. But let's take them out of the water and see what the glass looks like. I just popped the lids. I didn't expose what's inside yet, but let's do it together. Oh, look at that. That looks really, really good. They look nice and polished. Let's see what this one looks like over here. A little more sand than this guy, but the glass does look polished. So now I'm gonna dump them into my bucket so I can take them up to the house, and I'll pick all the glass out, and then we'll see what it looks like dry. But I wanna show you real quick what happened to the 3rd bucket lid. So I didn't lose my tumbler. The lid turned out like this. So what happened, as this was rotating, one of the clamps, it has threads on it, see that? It must have got stuck, and it just started like peeling the can away, and it left me with this, and eventually that one came off the stand. So all I gotta do is just replace the lid, and then I have my 3rd one back. But as you can see, it starts to wear a little bit on the plate, on that lid, see that? So what I made a little gasket. So this is a gasket material. I just cut it into a hole. That's gonna slide on like this. Let me do it real quick. Like that. And then the washer's gonna go on like that, and then my clamp will go on. So now I don't have the threads eating into the lid. So I'm gonna reset these with new glass, you won't see the glass recovery, but I'm just hoping to, you know, not have this happen again where the lid comes off and I lose all my glass and it's a waste of time. But I'll see you back in a little bit with some clean, dry glass. And here's the final product. Check it out. We got some nice Seaglass, nice sizes. Really pretty. It's still a little wet yet, but you can see I got some clear, some reds, greens, teals, whole bunch. And it sounds awesome. Looks great. And I got a little bit of small pieces here we're gonna put into some jars for some decoration. So overall, I'm really happy. The glass rock tumblers worked out great. As you can see down there, I have 2 more set up, ready to go for next week. Hopefully those turn out good. But I am very happy. And that was a fun process trying to get these nice and polished up. This is the stand that I used, that I built for my rock tumbler. Everything is 1-inch PVC besides the feet, which is 1/2-inch PVC, which I'll show you in just a quick second. But you're gonna have 2 90s at 1 inch, 4 T's at 1 inch, and then you're gonna have a couple pieces that you have to cut. So this is an 8.5-inch piece of PVC, so there's 4 of those, and then this cross arm is 13.5 inches. So that takes care of the 1-inch PVC. At the top, I cut out a notch on both sides, as you can see right there, and that's to hold the aluminum rod that I'm gonna have in place to hold up the tumbler. Now for the feet, this is the best part. Now we all know that the creek, it can be, you know, different sizes, right? So I made little wing nuts, and these are 1/4 and I tapped it at 1/4, and I put extenders like this at 1/2 inch. So I can make this level adjustment in the creek so it sits level once it's in there. And these each were 12 inches long with some 1/2 inch end caps. That takes care of the entire base, and it's really, really cool and super effective. For the tumbler itself, this was an old paint can that I had laying around, and I just did a couple modifications to it. So up here, this is all 2-inch pipe. I cut it in half, and these are at 7-inch length. So it's 7 inches from here to the bottom here. I had to do 12 of these, and if you need to figure out how to space these, pretty much it's gonna lay like a clock. So 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Now for the inside, I put little 1-inch pieces of PVC split in half in this orientation, right like this. And this is just to, as it's flowing, it's gonna catch the material and it's going to make it tumble down on the side. So I put 4 of those pieces in there, and it works out awesome. Now I had to drill a hole at the bottom of the can like this, and then the top of the can like this. And I used a 1/2 inch piece of copper piping that you use for plumbing. So how this works is I'll put it together and show you that. I just inserted the side of the pipe like this, and I have one of these clamps that I found in the electrical department right there. And then you put the lid on top, but first you gotta put your glass and your sand inside of here. You put your lid on top, you smash it down with a hammer, and then you put your other fitting on top here, and this will tighten down like that. Then I have a 3-inch piece of aluminum. This is, I think this is about 16 or 18 inches long. That just goes in like this. And now we set it over here like that. I got the cotter pin installed over here because you don't want this to come out as it's tumbling. And I put one over here, boom, and that's it. So depending on how the water's flowing, you want to have the water coming into these fins and catch and then go down like this. And that's all there is to it. That's a wrap. I appreciate you guys coming by, checking this out. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun making this, watching it tumble in the creek for the last week. A lot of fun, and it's really cool seeing the end product of my polished glass. Until next time, take it easy, and Stoney's out.